What's up fam, Rahim here and welcome to another episode. Now I'll be talking to you real close because the echo in this room is just really bad. I've got the DJI AVATA with me and as much as I want to fly it outdoors, I can't because this drone weighs more than 250 grams and in Singapore that means that you'll need to get it registered in order to fly in our airspace. No problem, let's fly indoors then. I welcome you to my cozy apartment and just to make it that little bit more interesting, here is the tower. Decathlon for the win. So from what I've already tested, this drone is essentially a flying Osmo action camera. Besides the usual resolution, frame rate and exposure settings, there's the field of view settings that you can change, which is your normal, wide or extra wide. Then here's where I also want to explore the stabilization settings of Rocksteady and also Horizon Lock. So this is not going to be a full review but more of a sampler of how these settings are and how they look. By the way, what you see in the goggles is fully the pilot's view. Whatever camera settings that you've put in will only show up in the output footage and not in the view of the pilot. It's great that they addressed this because this was an issue that haunted the DJI FPV. But now I wish that at least you should have shown what settings I've made in the camera on the on-screen display of the goggles. Alright, I'm gonna fly, you'll see what I mean. So I have my drone set up in the middle of the room on a stool to show you the different field of views that the AVATA offers. This is the normal field of view setting, where the image you see here has been corrected. What that means is that there is little to no distortion in the image. It has been digitally stretched outwards at the corners to give you a corrected perspective of the room. All the things around the room look straight and upright, although stretched. Then here we have the wide field of view, where this is the cropped in view of what the camera of the drone actually sees. This has a fisheye lens kind of look. The further away the object is from the center of the frame, the stronger the distortion and bending of the objects around the room. And the last setting is the ultra wide field of view, where this is the widest camera angle and there is little to no crop of what the drone camera sees, utilizing the full 1/17 inch sensor. Lens distortions are really heavy and that makes objects look further away than they actually are. Here is a comparison of all three field of views and I'm going to be flying in the extra wide field of view to test the stabilization settings. All flights you are about to see are in normal mode. This allows the single axis gimbal to lock the view facing forward always, regardless of whether the drone is pitching forward or backwards. Right now this flight has no stabilization settings applied and this gives a raw look, where there is perspective distortion and also every single movement and adjustment of the drone's controls can be seen. Also, if I were to bank the drone into a turn, you will be able to see that in the footage. Switch on Rocksteady stabilization and this is where the system smoothens out the footage. How it works is that the footage is zoomed in and kept as stable as possible in the center of the frame. Hard bumps and banking into turns will still be visible, retaining a dynamic look to the overall footage. The top stabilization setting is Horizonsteady, and having this on is where the real magic happens. This setting has all of which Rocksteady is, but now perspectives have been normalized with objects looking straight and stretched, and also you will no longer see the banking of the drone into turns. Horizonsteady will utilize all of the drone's gyro data to give you the smoothest footage that you will want from this drone. So basically, to sum this all up, you may at the onstart choose what field of view you would expect from the footage and then have the best stabilization settings for the intended outcome of your footage. I would likely have it on wide field of view for general shots or ultra wide for that indoor shots. For stabilization, I'd keep it off for practice flying as I have this thing where I would re-watch the raw footage so that I can improve my flying. But if I want to have the smoothest dynamic shots, it's definitely going to be Rocksteady. I find that Horizonsteady gives a handheld gimbal kind of look, so that's kinda rigid and best left for slow, serene shots of that, like in a wedding venue or indoor real estate showcase. So anyways, I'd like to hear from you. Leave me a comment if you already have or am getting this drone. What would you use it for and what are your preferred stabilization settings? Sharing it here lets others also learn and experiment with what may or may not work for them and the output they are looking for. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Now that was just a small sampler footage and settings from the DJI AVATA. More episodes coming up, so do hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Anyways, if you have enjoyed this episode, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you are not already, chat with me, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Pilots, as always, I'll see you in the skies. Peace!